Steph, this is the pre-show.
The what?
The pre-show.
Your pre-show.
Ready?
Uh-huh.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to episode 51. You just ruined the intro.
Why?
You said Jesus or Jesus or something like that.
You scared me.
How did I scare you? I literally started the podcast
attention.
And you weren't paying attention.
I wasn't paying attention.
I was doing the intro and I said, welcome, everybody. And that scared you.
Yeah.
I want you to know you're out of control.
Don't spook the pregnant lady.
I'm going to kick you off this podcast.
That's fine.
Don't be all excited about it. Be sad.
I don't like to talk or be on a camera.
Why?
Because
why?
I don't like to do that.
Because
that's your thing.
You don't like the carotid segment.
It's cardioid.
I like to say carotid because it upsets Steph.
Anyways.
Oh, anyway, we're going to segue right away because Steph wants to run away from that conversation. But today we wanted to talk about the positive mindset and what we see when we're experiencing people and how we're interacting with people. And you see a lot of the time people getting bullied and marketing that's playing towards fear or playing towards something that people find that's a flaw in themselves. And then it brings out their subconscious and their subconscious level of basically that they feel like they're inadequate and they don't feel like they're all there. They don't feel like they're worth it. And I think that's a really big problem in society because recently there was a study out that said it was a huge chunk. I can't remember the percentage right now, but it was a huge chunk of people that are chronically and clinically depressed and they're dealing with it. And it's a growing population in our society. And so I thought it would be an interesting topic to talk about why.
Okay.
What do you think?
Well, why, Chandler?
It's your turn to talk.
I just did. I said my 2 words.
Oh.
Your turn.
Before this, I was saying that Steph will talk for 2 minutes and I'll talk for 14.
You're going to be lucky to get 2 minutes out of me today.
So anyway, what I'm talking about here is when we're going through life and we see someone walking down the street, say you're Mr. Bob guy who doesn't like girls who wear skimpy clothes for whatever reason, or they're too young and they wear a shirt that's too small. And you make that comment. Why should they be wearing that? They shouldn't be wearing that, blah, 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 blah. So I think that's the judgmental mentality that we get into, that it's automatically our role and our job to judge people because they're following something that we don't believe in or understand or like. So it should automatically subject them to follow our beliefs and ideals is the way we feel about it when we start judging people and we start bringing out those comments about them when we see them doing things that we don't like or that we don't perceive as okay or adequate.
Yeah. But that's like the problem now is that the media and like social media posts and everything, they blow it up out of proportion because if you look back however many years ago, girls were walking around in like Daisy Dukes and like not even like crop top shirts, like bra like shirts. And that was totally normal. And like crocheted shirts and stuff. And that was normal. And that was fine. And now it's like, oh my gosh, your belly button's showing. You're going to hell.
It's true. And I think that's a really big problem because then when you get in the mindset of the girl who's wearing those clothes, obviously she chose to because she wants to look pretty and she wants to appeal to people because she's taught in magazines and in all the constructs that we create that she needs to be pretty to the other people because that's what makes her adequate and that's what makes her whole or a real person. Mm-hmm. And because of that, she's looking in the mirror saying, I have to look pretty. Maybelline told me I have to wear 17 pounds of makeup and I have to do all these things to be pretty and to be okay and to be a good person. And then when she gets judged by the people who are telling her that's not okay, now it creates this conflicting, confusing environment for especially now that we segued into young girls, for especially young girls to come into. Right. And so I think they fall into this perpetual cycle of inadequacy. They never feel like they're actually pretty.
Right. Because they think they're like, they're comfortable and they think they look good and, are confident in wearing that stuff. But then, they get shot down the second they walk out the door, even if it's like not even that bad. I mean, there's some times that it's like, okay, we should maybe put some more clothes on. But there are times where it's like, oh, she's cute and she looks good and that's fine. And then somebody's going to be like, why aren't you wearing any clothes?
Exactly. And then when you look at it on the mindset of the person who makes that comment, who are they to judge and to actually say that? Like, right. What puts you in a position to where you're so powerful, mm-hmm. so awesome, and so amazing that you're allowed to say those things to other people?
Well, it's usually because they have low self-confidence too, so.
That's true. And that's,
I mean, and then that goes into a whole nother story. So.
Yeah, that's the next segue. So they're projecting their problems onto other people by doing that. And what it is it's a form of bullying. It's bullying people in our society that don't follow the constructs and beliefs that we believe in ourselves. And usually it's because we don't understand them. And when we don't understand something, it makes us angry and it brings out our insecurities. And so when you make that comment, it's an insecurity coming out because you couldn't do it, or because you don't feel it's okay, or because you follow some morals or beliefs on your side that don't allow it or whatever. But that doesn't mean that the person next to you or the person across from you has to follow your moralistic values and beliefs at the same time, because we are a melting pot, at least here in the United States.
Yep.
Wow, thanks for that riveting rebuttal.
You rebutted my comment.
It wasn't a rebuttal, and it was agreement and agreeance.
Well, that's what so yeah, I said my piece and then you said your piece. Ow, she's kicking me.
Now you're supposed to say your piece again.
I'm getting kicked. Hold on.
So anyway, when you're walking down the street or when you're talking to people and you start to feel that judgmental mind come out where, oh, that person shouldn't be doing this, I think what you need to do is you need to take a step back and say, well, why shouldn't they be doing this? Who said they shouldn't do it? Is what they're doing illegal? Is what they're doing harming somebody? Is what they're doing putting someone in a position to where they're going to eventually harm someone else or cause problems or chaos in society?
I mean, let's be honest. Your short shorts might be harming people, could cause chaos.
Those cause peace and harmony
I
all
don't
over
know
the world.
About all that.
I wore those things walking down the street in Australia, and every single person who saw them told me, those are nice shorts. Where did you get those? And I was like, well, thanks. I got them from Chubby's.
Oh, good Lord. And they keep getting shorter.
Yeah. And so there's that judgmental mind. You don't like my short shorts, so you project your problems onto me right there in the podcast.
I didn't say I didn't like them. I'm just saying your short shorts might harm somebody or cause chaos out there somewhere.
You know what? The only reason it would cause chaos is if someone crashed because they were looking at me because I have a nice butt.
Okay, true.
Rubbernecking.
Sure.
They see the shorts and the shorts drive them in. They entice them and then they're excited.
Oh my good Lord.
Look where that segued. I just made it positive about myself.
I know.
So anyway, before we got segued into that, the big thing that you have to think about when you're in this mindset is when you're walking down the street and you see the girl in the skimpy clothes, or you see someone who's in a nun outfit,
or the guy
or even
3-inch shorts.
What's something that's popular right now? You see someone walking down the street in a hijra, what the Muslims ladies wear, the headscarf.
Uh-huh.
It's fine. It's their beliefs. It's their followings. It's what they do. It's what they like. And we have no bearing or no reason for us to say anything about it. And nothing we say is going to affect what they do, except make them feel more insecure about what they already believe in.
I like that you believe in your short shorts.
Yeah, I mean,
that are only a half an inch longer than some of my spandex booty shorts that I have.
They're 5.5 inches.
You just got a pair 4-inch.
Oh, those are really good. If you guys are paying attention, I just got some 4-inch chubby shorts.
I have spandex shorts that are 3.5 inseam. Half an inch difference.
I'd get shorter if I could. I mean, I always say mo short, mo better. Oh, look, Joe's on the Instagram. He says, see, Steph's judging. Exactly.
Hush, Joe.
This is the judgmental mindset that I'm talking about. Steph sees me in my short shorts and judges me and creates a construct.
I don't judge. I just laugh because they're so short and you want them shorter.
I think you're attacking me.
I'm not.
I think you guys are getting firsthand knowledge of this mindset right now.
Oh, whatever. Joe, I'm going to get him shorter shorts and he's going to wear them and you guys can go out on like an ice cream date or something.
Oh, yeah.
Have fun.
I'll buy Joe ice cream.
I'll get you some short shorts too, Joe.
It'll be a gym thing.
It is a gym thing.
Last year at the summit, the theme was short shorts and mullets.
I know.
This year's scarred heart.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Gross.
I have a white suit. And you're judging again.
I'm sorry.
Jeez.
It's because you wear your shirt unbuttoned all the way down and you got like you're being sure to grow everything. And yeah.
Well, you're supposed to. You got to show off the hamburger meat.
That's gross.
And if you don't have enough, you tape some on there.
Ew.
To make sure it's extra.
Oh man.
which I think is going to be exciting.
Oh yeah, it's going to be great.
Anyway, so the topic of this episode, before we segued into it being all about Steph attacking Chandler, was the fact that we need to. Oh, she's ruining the podcast.
I'm sorry.
Too. I have to edit all of this. So anyway, the big thing about this is we want to create the construct that when you see someone doing something that you don't believe in or you don't understand or you don't follow, it doesn't automatically give us the power to tell them it's wrong or to attack them or say something in public or to do anything that would make that person feel inadequate, and then put yourself in their shoes. So why did that girl wear the skimpy clothes, or why did that girl why did she show her belly button? Mother of God, the belly button.
Oh my God.
Maybe because she got up in the morning and she's reading these magazines, she sees the TV commercials and all these things that tell her she has to be perfect and she's inadequate if she's not.
Right.
And then from that, she gets into a position to where she wears all these clothes because she's trying to be what she supposedly should be, that she sees in all the magazines. She has to be that perfect girl with the nice makeup and all the things that make her okay and pretty because that's what society deems as okay. But in reality, the big thing is just let them be themselves and stop building the constructs and stop building the depression into these people to where they feel like they aren't okay and whatever they do is wrong and any position they're in isn't going to be the right thing.
Mm-hmm.
Right, Steph?
Right.
So, and I think this whole thing comes down to empathy. And empathy really is understanding what people are going to do and how they're feeling when you're talking and interact with them. And even before they respond, you can do it by body language and targeting what they're saying. And for me, it's understanding, like, if I say something to somebody, what is their response and reaction going to be? How are they going to feel? And how is that going to help them or be a detriment to them as a result? And if you can really understand empathy towards people and be empathetic towards people, I think it puts you in a strong position because you know what they're going to do. You know how they're going to feel and you know how they're going to respond. And so you don't have to be a jerk to people all the time. You can pull yourself back. You can be mindful of the moment and you can say, woosah, there's no reason for me to be mean. There's no reason for me to get in an argument. That person's probably having just as bad of a day or whatever. Or this is the reason why they're doing the things they're doing.
Why do you keep looking at me?
Because I think you should, we might want to work on this with you a little bit.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Like with your driving, we talked about this in the last podcast, I think.
What about my driving?
When you're driving down the road and you get road rage, just blind. And I have to tell you, hey, you think that person's really out to get you? And you say, yes. This happened. And
yes.
We had this exact same conversation in last week's episode or the week before.
Oh. Uh-huh.
But it's so when you're dealing with this, and this happens all over the place. It happens when we talk, like our example today is the girl in the little clothing or whatever, but this is in the political realm as well. And when someone says, I believe in this because I'm a Democrat, the Republicans automatically attack and tar and feather them just because of their beliefs. And they don't want to take the time to learn and understand why they believe this, or maybe try to form a construct as to why this would be something that's important for that person to believe in. It just automatically goes into, nope, don't believe in your views. You suck. You're a whatever they call them. What do they call liberals now on the conservative side?
I don't know.
Whatever it is. But they have to use something. They have to call them names. And same thing on the other side. They call the conservatives things. And so if we could just step in the middle and try to understand what each side is saying, we could probably find some middle ground. Like, hey, I know you don't believe in this, but these are the reasons that I do this. And these are the reasons that I kind of feel this way. And it just doesn't work with a lot of people because they can't pull back their elephant to let the rider in a little bit.
Oh, we're back to that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we discovered I'm all elephant.
Yeah. Well, you're a lot elephant.
I'm mostly elephant.
But the big thing is just have a little bit of empathy towards people. If you're going to say something, try to pull back and understand why this would make sense to them, if you're going to hurt their feelings, if you're going to cause problems to them, and if it's going to be a detriment to their life, and if it's going to help them or abuse them in any way. And if it is, then pull back. Okay, maybe I shouldn't say this. Maybe I should just keep my mouth shut and not comment on this. Or maybe we should just kind of talk about it. Maybe I should pull back and be mindful in my moment. Oh, this is what's happening. Okay, so what do you think about this? I totally understand what you're saying. This is why I feel this way. Elephant in the Rider. You should listen to that podcast, episode 50. That was a good one. But so today's topic was really just, we see a lot of people being bullied. We see a lot of problems at schools because of bullying, and we don't really see a lot of ways to help these kids out. And we don't see a lot of things that happen to help the people who are making comments that cause depression. And we see a depressed society that feels inadequate and doesn't believe in themselves. So I think for us, if it takes one person to change things, and that one person is me, it's Steph, it's every one of you listening to this. But if every one of us make the cognizant effort of not saying mean things to people, being a little bit of mindful of what we're doing, and having some empathy towards how they're feeling and what they're saying, I think we can create lasting change in our society. We can really help people move forward and stop a lot of the depression-based issues, and stop people from feeling so inadequate, and people from basically wanting to get to the point where they want to kill themselves as a result, because the whole thing's just cascades on them throughout their high school life, which is awful for some people, into their adult life, which is probably just as bad, because now we introduce stress into the environment,
right?
And then into the life that maybe they didn't want to be where they're at, but they have to live with it and deal with it. And so everybody's just trying to play this game of being happy, and everybody else is trying to segue that by being jerks.
Don't look at me.
Well, we're talking. Who else am I supposed to look at?
I don't know.
So anyway, think about it. If you guys agree with this, and you agree we need to bring about this positivity in our lives, and we need to just pull back a little and not make comments that could be hurtful towards people. We do have to have some feelings. I know I always say that I lost my feelings during the war, but I am highly aware of what people are thinking, saying, or doing. And I am always thinking about it. And I do understand what I say and do can have an effect on people. And so that's how we need to be as a society. If we're joking and having fun, that's one thing, but just be cognizant of the situation you're in and who you're going to hurt by doing the things you do.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think for kids to stop bullying, we need to make reality TV shows that say Behind the Bully, and they follow a bully around, and they interview them every time they attack kids, and they ask them why they're doing it, and then they interview all the kids. It'd be like that True Life teen pregnancy show that statistically over time, that show actually reduced the amount, or helped to reduce the amount of teen pregnancies in the United States. And so if you hit these issues head on with reality TV, now you got pop culture in it, and people stop doing it.
There you go. You just gave away a great idea.
I know. Somebody, casting call. I need an investor. I need a school to do it at, I guess, some bullies, and I need some people who are victims.
Plenty around here.
Yeah, I'll get those things. I just need someone to direct.
Wait, then you
thing.
need a video crew.
Yeah, that's why I think I need an executive producer.
Oh, okay.
Because they're going to organize the whole thing.
Got it.
All right. So if you guys know anybody, shoot me an email, chandler@stoneagefuel.com, and we'll get this thing moving. Anyway, if you guys enjoyed this episode, share it. If you have questions about what we talked about, post them in the comments. If you're listening to this on the podcast, shoot me that email. I'd love to hear your thoughts, and we will tune in next week. I'll see you guys later.
Bye.
See ya.
Hi, Instagram.
This is the post show.
You're a post show.
Trying to stop the